last time we set up our course, and we set up also two assignments, assignment number 1 and number 2, and homework and exam. And then we decided what is the percentage for the final grade formed from each of our assignments. Now, sometimes we have a problem, so to say, with the students. When students receive some grades for assignments, and then they say that, hey, well, I already have enough points or enough marks to receive the final grade for the course, and I don't want to take exam, right? So let's see how this thing works. So we have our assignment number 1, and let's say that our demo student received 90 points for the first assignment. And let's okay, and then let's go to the assignment number 2 and say that our student received 80 points. And finally, let's go back to our course and say that for the homework, our demo student received 70, let's say 75 points from 100. Okay, and now we can go back to the course and go to the grades. And now we see that our student received 90, 80, and 75 points respectively for each of assignments. And now for the course total, they have our student have 41 points, right? And if student receives 40 or more points, then one can say that the student successfully finished the study course, which is not the case. Because if assignment 1 and assignment 2 and exam is mandatory to complete the course, then obviously student need to receive some positive grades for each of these assignments and exam, and only then student can complete the course. So, but the problem is sometimes for the students that they see that the course final grade for the course is already above 40 points, and then they say that well, I'm satisfied with the final grade, and I don't want to take exam. So what we can do to avoid this misunderstanding from the side of the students? We can go to the Gradebook setup and edit the formula for the final grade. Right? We already have our formula from the last video, and what we can do about this formula, we can use the function if, right? And how this function works. We can set up some logic question, then use comma, and then put whatever we want to calculate if this logic question is true, and then comma, and what will happen if this logic question is not true, right? And what I did here is that if this logic question is true, then the final grade is calculated by this formula. If it's not true, then the final grade is 0, right? So far, so good. But now we need the logic question. And the logic question can be, or statement. And the statement can be that we say that the grade for assignment number 1, right, which is 2 brackets, A1 and 2 brackets, must be above 39 points. Right, because 40 points is already good mark for the assignment, right? So now what we are saying that if the grade for the assignment number 1 is above 39 points from 100, right? then the final grade will be calculated according to this formula. If not, then the final grade is equal to 0. So save changes, and let's go back to our course, and let's go to the grades page. And now what we see that still there is a course total grade, but the grade for the assignment number 1 is 90 points. So let's change it to something below 40. Let's go to assignment number 1, grade, and say that our student received not 90, but 32 points from 100 for the first assignment. So we go back to the course, we go back to the grades, and now we see that the final grade for the course is 0. And this is because grade for the first assignment is below 40, right? Again, so far so good, but we need the same thing for the second assignment and for the exam, right? So how we can achieve that? We can go back to the Gradebook setup, edit calculation, and we can use one more function, and the function is and bracket open and bracket close. And what function and do? You can feed to the function several statements, and if each of statement are true, then the and function will return value true. If any of functions are false, then the value of and function will be false, right? So the first statement was that grade for first assignment must be above 39, and now we can add a statement that the grade for the second assignment also must be above 39, and the grade for the exam also must be above 39, right? Of course, if you want to, you can use different levels of satisfactory grades for each of assignment, but in this case I use the 39. So if students receive 40 points from 100, then we can say that the assignment is completed successfully, right? So save changes, and now we can go back to the course page and to the grades, and we see that the final grade is 0. So let's say that student came to us one more time, and number 1 one more time, and now student received I don't know, 47 points. Save changes, go back to the course, go to the grades, and we see that now this grade is good enough, but the final grade is still 0 because there is no grade for the exam. So let's say that student came to us and completed the exam and received 95 points from 100 for the exam. Save changes, okay, and go back to course and go to the grades page. And now we see that there is some grades for each of assignment and also some grade for the homework. And we see that the student as a final grade for the course received 80 points. Now, what will happen if a student didn't complete homework or received not a satisfactory grade for the homework? So let's go to the course, let's go to the homework and say that homework wasn't uploaded, and then the student didn't do the homework. So there is no grade for the homework. Let's go back to the course and to the grades. And now we see that the final grade is smaller than it was before, but still there is final grade, right? Despite that there is no grade for the homework. And this is because we didn't add this request in our formula for the final grade, right? So if we go back to the course administration, to the gradebook setup and edit calculation, right? So here we see that in logical statement, we ask only for the grade for assignment number 1, number 2, and exam to be above 39, right? And if the student receives more than 39 points for each of these assignments, then final grade will be calculated. But we still take into account the grade for the homework if there is the homework at all, right? So if students submitted homework and if we assign some grade for this homework, then the student will receive some more points for the final grade of the course. If not, then as we see from our formula, the homework made 20% from the final grade. So we can see that in case if student do both assignments and exam and receive 100 points for each, the final grade will be 80 points, right? Because we didn't receive homework from the student. If student will submit the homework, then the grade will be higher, and it might be the student will receive 100 points for the course.